welcome to Cox Connections. Brad Grundmeyer, Director of Public Government Affairs for Cox, Louisiana. Thank you so much for tuning into our show. In this segment, truly honored to have a young man who is a part of the Paralympics, is that? Paralympic. An amazing story. Mark LeBlanc, who's a native of New Orleans and a lifelong sailor, getting ready to do something amazing. He's a part of the 2012 Paralympic sailing team, and great to have you here, buddy. Thank you so much for coming. Well, we were talking a little bit before. When did you first get into sailing?
I first started sailing when I was 10, right here in New Orleans, out at the Southern Yacht Club in the Optimist dinghy.
Was that for your dad, or was it from school, or what?
My grandfather
really?
began sailing here in New Orleans, and then my father started as a child, and it's kind of just continued with my twin brother and I growing up sailing together here.
No, were we talking, you know, like a 30-foot boat?
No, like
20-foot, what?
It's about an 8-foot boat. Looks kind of like a bathtub. You can see them out on the lakefront almost every weekend.
Right. And that's usually for one individual?
Yeah,
or?
It's one individual, usually between 7 years old and 15.
Hard to do at a young age, or is it easy to kind of pick up? I mean, I remember my days. I had a much bigger boat that I had a friend that we used to go on, but still, I mean, sailing is sailing. But as an individual and having to do a lot of that, again, it's just a little bathtub, as you said, but still, it's a lot to be involved. Do you find it difficult?
Yes and no. I mean, it's just a lot of practice and experience.
Yeah.
The more you sail it, the easier it is.
Now, for yourself, a little bit of a challenge. You have your left forearm that was at birth, a defect, birth defect. So usually right-handed, or are you able at all to use your left arm in some way?
I was able to
help
use
you do this.
Both arms. I can use my left arm pretty well. It helps me out a lot on the boat. I can wrap lines about it. I can grab lines. So really growing up, I never thought of myself as disabled. I really just did what everyone else did.
Sure, and just obviously just did it without a forearm. But I mean, there's so many things that I would just follow you in a day, just be so probably amazed at the things you're able to do that we take for granted. And so it's great to have you here for that. Your ability to overcome that adversity, but as you said, it wasn't really adversity, just the way you grew up.
Exactly.
Well, we got some great video. We can show everybody a little bit of what Mark has been able to do. The footage we're getting ready to show you is a competition regatta. You were competing where in Florida?
This is in Miami, Florida.
Okay,
it's
tell us, everybody, what we're seeing here.
It's the Paralympic qualifier. It's a sailing along.
There's that bathtub.
No, this is the Paralympic boat. Here's the start of a race. There I am, kind of off in the distance.
Yeah.
Sailing along.
137, is that you?
Yes.
Yeah. That is awesome. So, I mean, you're pretty keeled, right? I mean, you get a good...
Yeah, you heel over a pretty good amount. It's fun, though. Now,
how'd you do in this one?
I finished 7th overall, I believe.
And it looked like quite a few boats out there.
Yes, we had 25 boats.
Did you ever have a chance to appreciate the beautiful background? Have you got Miami, the whole cityscape, or you're really in the thick of it here? You're really focused on.
It has its moments.
Yeah.
Every now and then it'll slow down, and you can look around and just say, "Oh wow."
How competitive was it for you, or to be a part or selected, or is it a selection to be a part of the 2012 Paralympic sailing team? Is that hard to get on that?
Well, you just have to compete and win.
Right.
It's extremely competitive.
So I mean, I know you seem very humble, but tell me a little about your record. How have you done?
Well, last year at the...
If not, I'm going to read it.
2011 Worlds, I got 4th at the Worlds.
Wow.
And was 1 point out of 3rd. And then the 2012 Disabled Worlds, I got 7th overall.
That's amazing.
I have my ups and downs, and really I've got a lot of work to do to win and bring home a medal at the Paralympics.
Now, how old are you now?
I'm 27.
So 27. Is there a peak? Is there some age you can no longer compete in that? Or I'm just curious.
Well, sailing's very unique in that respect, that you can compete as a lifetime.
Oh, okay, you could.
They had John Dane from New Orleans and Pass Christian that competed in his 60s in the 2008 Olympics.
And the nice part about it, it seems like you've had the great opportunity of traveling and seeing a lot of this world. I see Australia. I loved Australia. I mean, where in the places that you've had a chance to sail, you've enjoyed the most or found most challenging?
I thought China was one of the most interesting places to sail for the 2008 test event before the Paralympic and Olympic Games. But I think the funnest place was probably the Canary Islands off the coast of Africa. It was beautiful.
And so, ever in your wildest dreams, could you imagine this would have taken you to all these places?
No. If you had asked me in February 2006, which was right before
You're going to China, you're going to...
No, right before I started sailing a 2.4 meter, that this is where I would be now, and I've seen all these beautiful places around the world, I would have called you crazy.
Right.
Never in my wildest dreams.
Any thought about doing something even a little crazier than this? Maybe doing, you hear a lot of people doing around the world, or I mean, you know, any aspirations beyond this kind of competitive nature?
I'd like to do an ocean crossing once,
okay.
But I think once would probably be enough.
What do you think, the pond probably be here to maybe Europe or
yeah,
something
like that.
Gosh, have you been working on that yet, or maybe not?
No, it's very much an
thought.
afterthought.
I think that's fantastic. And of course, all of this, the competition coming up in London. Tell me a little bit about that.
The Paralympics will be in London. The Olympics actually start, I think it's July 20th, and then the Paralympics follow immediately after that.
Okay, so the Olympics takes place and then the Paralympics follow.
Paralympics are right
How quickly? A couple weeks after? Or?
I think 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The opening ceremony is on August 29th, and then the closing ceremony is on September 9th.
This will be your what Paralympics? Second?
This will be my first Paralympics.
Your first? Okay, wow.
In 2008, I qualified as the alternate for the 2.4 meter.
I'm kind of speechless. It's awesome. What a great opportunity. Got all your stuff lined up and all? Because I would think, just like Olympians, you also need to raise money or have people to support you to be able to provide these opportunities.
Yes. My current budget for 2012 is around $130,000.
Wow.
Last year I spent $60,000 sailing, and then most of this is coaching, travel. I mean, you're on the road probably 60 or 70 days of the year, and always in a hotel or somewhere like that.
Sure, that comes with a cost.
Yeah, and I've got the support of a couple nonprofits here in New Orleans, the Olympic Sailing Association at New Orleans and Delta Sailing Association.
Yeah.
And people contribute. I've got a couple corporate contributors and sponsors. The Albemarle Foundation's one. It's really how you do it.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Yes.
And the nice part about everybody, you can do it as well. You can go to Mark's website, Mark LeBlanc's website, which is team-leblanc.com. How you can contribute or learn about ways you can get in touch with Mark to make a contribution to help him out on this truly a well-deserved but much-deserved honor competing in the 2012 Paralympics in London. It's going to be fantastic. He's representing more so New Orleans. Any other Paralympians from New Orleans competing? Are you aware of?
Not yet. Sailing's a little bit different where you
there's
find
no
out.
one. As far as I'm concerned, he's the only one from New Orleans, so we need to support our local New Orleans native in a very significant way. So it's going to be fantastic. Now, the actual one you're competing in is what? The 2.4?
The 2.4 meter is the name of the boat.
Okay. Wow. And how long is that?
It's a 14-foot keelboat, weighs about 500 pounds,
wow.
Has a 20-foot mast.
And you're currently training here?
I'm currently training here in New Orleans, Florida. I've got a couple events in Europe coming up this summer and this spring.
And real quick, do you get to go to the channel, English Channel? I'm sure that's going to be where you can maybe get a feel for the water and what that's going to be like. Yeah.
Last year I spent 6 weeks in England at the site, sailing and training and competing. Yeah. And then this year I'm going to spend 3 weeks before the games training and competing. Well,
Mark, it's really an honor to have you here. We wish you all the best, and we'll be watching for you come the summer for the 2012 U.S. Sailing, as part of the U.S. Sailing team in the Paralympics, and wish you all the best, my friend. Congratulations. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for inspiring us, buddy. Great to have you here. All right, everybody, that wraps up this segment of Cox Connections. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.